If your words are being stubborn today, the worst thing you can do is keep staring at your screen or trying to write the perfect sentence over and over again. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a former editor-in-chief, and I've helped hundreds of writers smash through a writer's block. Today, I'm going to show you the 8 different types of feelings connected to writer's block so that we can figure out how to best help you. The first feeling is the feeling of being stuck. So you're sitting there at your screen and the cursor is blinking, or maybe you have a notebook and a pen, but it seems like your hand just won't move. Why does the act of starting feel so difficult? Well, here's the reason why. You're right here and your brain is over here. Maybe you've just gotten done scrolling on your phone, or maybe you've just gotten home from a long commute. Whatever it is, your brain needs a warm-up, a transition, before it's ready to embrace that creative, cognitive space. So when we start discussing solutions for you, we're going to focus on creating a transition so that you have a bridge between where you were and where you want to be. But what if you're not stuck? What if you're really ready to write? What if you sit down and you actually get started, but all of a sudden the words just disappear? Well, maybe you feel lost. Now, what happens when you feel lost? Well, when you feel lost, you have a lot of different thoughts floating around in your head, but you're just not sure what direction to go. Your thoughts don't have a specific target. And if your mind doesn't have a clear direction, then you get trapped in this place of literally not knowing what to do. So in general for you, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what information do you know? What information do you not know? And then we're going to find that middle space between the two and connect them up like a puzzle piece so that we can create this clear pathway and you can reach your goal. Now, even if you know where you're going, you might feel this heavy, suffocating pressure to make it perfect. This is the feeling of being pressured. You wrote one beautiful, brilliant sentence, and now you are paralyzed. You keep deleting and rewriting because nothing seems like it matches the brilliance of the first. The big question is, why does writing a great first line suddenly freeze up your creativity? Well, the answer is when you introduce that first luxury sentence, your brain suddenly starts to judge the rest of your draft as not good enough. So you've slipped into this ego space, and what we need to do for you is reintroduce the concept of the messy first draft. We're also going to show you the value of writing a messy, playful draft first. Now, when the pressure builds from every direction, it can lead to a feeling that I call overwhelmed. Now, the overwhelmed feeling is when you have perhaps too much information. You may have gathered too much research, or you may literally have too many sounds coming into your mind all at once. Sometimes this is too much auditory information coming in. What can happen is with all the information coming in, your working memory actually gets overloaded. This can create an actual physiological block that just makes your brain go blank. So for you, when you feel overwhelmed, what we're going to do is we're going to create an environment where we're going to make sure that we're going to be subtracting some of the things that can overwhelm you, and we're going to be blocking out some of those unwelcome information, and we're going to be welcoming in just the right amount to keep you going. But what if the overwhelming noise, it's not in your head, but what if it's a feeling that writing is this uncomfortable, lonely activity that just makes you feel alone and isolated? Well, in that case, it may be that you have the type of personality that actually does best when you're surrounded by other people. This is not a character flaw. This is just who you are. And if this is the case for you, then we're going to create situations that allow you to be yourself while also accomplishing your writing goals. Much time preparing for your project, or maybe you've just thrown too much time into the prep work. You might hit the feeling of being simply exhausted. And you know that feeling exhausted and everything that comes along with it. For example, feeling tired, feeling hungry. All of this can actually drain your creative energy. For example, studies have shown that when you're tired, you may actually start typing words, mistyping them, misspelling them, that your writing fluency can start to go down. So if you're trying to create from a place of exhaustion, we need to make sure that you're working from a place of self-care. We're going to build in breaks. We're going to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. We're going to make sure that you've got hydration, that you have snacks, and that you're just not spending all of your time preparing just to avoid the process of writing. We're going to have a lot of fun getting ready for the writing part of the process so that you feel safe moving into it, and so that you arrive energized instead of drained. Now here's one that's big for all of us, and that is, you arrive to your project, you're excited to work on it, and suddenly the thoughts arrive with you. What are my peers going to think? What is my family going to think? What is the random troll on the internet going to think when they read this? What is the internet going to say when I hit publish? These fears. Maybe you think I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm a fraud. These fears overtake everything. They shut you down before you can write a single word. They shut you down before you can write a single word. They paralyze you from writing what you've dreamed about. This is a very real thing. The science says that you're caught in this drama, this illusion that everybody is watching and evaluating you, when the truth is that most people are so caught up in exactly the same thing. Everyone is really caught up in judging themselves. They are so worried about being judged themselves that you can have the freedom to work on what you're doing and know this. Let's say you have a friend and her name is Emily, and Emily judges your work harshly. When Emily says those things about your work, she's not commenting on you. She's really commenting on how she feels about herself. But besides that, don't worry, don't judge. We are going to work on coming into your writing projects from a place of creative freedom, of playfulness. We are going to come in, we are going to use art and music and dance before we even write a single word. And I'm going to show you some ways that we can approach your work so that we can lessen those feelings and bring back the joy of writing again by approaching it in completely new ways. But sometimes the judgment doesn't make us freeze. Sometimes it makes us distracted. So distracted is a way that sometimes we deal with feeling judged. So instead of sitting there and feeling judged and just going inward and feeling tight, we say, well, I'm just gonna not do this writing task right now. There's so many other things I could be doing, like I could be doing the laundry, or I could be answering some emails, or I could be going for a walk. And we pick these very productive things because all these feel like we're doing something. Why is it so incredibly difficult to sit in a room by ourselves when there's so many other things that would be a lot more fun to do? Well, the thing is we've all gotten so used to just being able to pick up our phones and scroll whenever we need a hit of dopamine. And when we're writing, we don't get that immediate hit. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to start from a place of fun. We're going to start our writing with some fun. And therefore, we're going to get some hits of dopamine before we even write a single word. This way, we're going to build this up, and we're going to make sure that we're going to have some dopamine hits, and then we're going to transition into something that I call the green screen. And I will teach you more about that in part 2 of this series, where I bring in the solutions to these different types of feelings. If you felt yourself caught in any of these 8 states today, or if you ever have in the past, remember this: writer's block is not a character flaw. It's just a temporary biological state. The cure is not trying to write perfectly. The cure is not staring at the screen longer. The cure is letting go of the outcome. The cure is falling back in love with the beautiful, messy, creative process of writing, letting yourself play, and showing up and finding the joy in the messy human art of playing and finding joy in creating something that only you can. I hope that you'll pick one of these feelings and consider it today. I created a journal so that you can learn a little bit more of each of these 8 feelings. I hope you'll download it and make some notes. I'll see you in our next workshop. Let me know in the comments which one of these feelings resonate most with you. Thanks for being here today, and I will see you soon.